How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and today, probably the funnest video I've made in a while, talking about Aggie basketball, because we just got an amazing win against a really good Louisiana Tech team by 30 points. If you guys want to know more about that, then stay tuned. We had our same starting lineup that we had against Sam Houston State, and probably the lineup will go with most games, I'm assuming. That's what Coach Hooten has been liking to do, and it's honestly been working pretty well. I know a lot of people, including myself, wouldn't mind seeing Rob start because he's arguably like our second, third best player behind Christian Cook, obviously. But I think it's great to have him off the bench. Him and Jaden Harris having great returners like them come off the bench and lead our second unit amazingly is perfect for this team. Rob had 16 points and 6 rebounds on the bench on high efficiency. He shot 6 for 8 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, I believe. Jaden Harris had 6 points. I think he missed a free throw or two. So hopefully, that can go up a little bit. But overall, the Aggies just shot the ball very well at a really high rate. Shot free throws pretty well too, and they honestly played really great defense. That's why Louisiana Tech, who's a really good scoring team, scored less than 50 points. Daniel Bacho, former Texas Tech player, had a couple seasons there, had one pretty good year there his sophomore year. He's a senior right now. Really good last year, arguably, the best player in Conference USA. Held him to just 4 points. He only took 2 shots. He made both of them. So if you look at the stats, he shot 100% from the field. Only 4 points, though. Only 2 shots taken. We did a great job guarding him. Threw a lot of guys on him. I know Rob did a good job guarding him overall. So it was just a great defensive effort by the Aggies. And I think that's the biggest reason why they won. That was definitely a point of emphasis by Coach Hooten. As you guys know, he's a defensive-oriented coach. And our offense was really good, too. I think almost everybody played. Again, Marvin Cox is redshirting, so he's not going to get in. I don't think Christopher Bayou got in the game, which I was kind of surprised about, but maybe he's hurt. I wasn't able to tell. So hopefully he can get more run when we're blowing out teams like that. I know Xavier Johnson got in, took a shot, but missed it. I think he shot 3. But it's all good. He had his points against Southwest. So it's always nice when you see those guys that don't get as much PT to get in there and showcase themselves and show why they deserve to be on a Division I men's basketball team. Jacoby Osborne got in the game, was able to play really good on defense, had some steals. Gabe Pickens, again, doing great as a young point guard for us, playing behind some seniors. Going to be great for our future. Our starters stepped up too. Zodie Jackson had a way better game. I know in the post-game conference last game, Coach Hooten said Zodie didn't have his game. He didn't have his night, but he still hit a big shot. That one, he pump faked and then stepped in and knocked it down. Christian Cook had that one tough fader as well. He knew that Zodie was going to come back and play well. He even said that. He quoted it, and it happened. I can't remember how many points he had exactly, but I think he had 15 or something like that. Shot the ball very well. Again, the whole team shot the ball well. Deontay, he obviously looked really good too. If you look at his stats, only 4 points and 5 assists, I think, but he's still, you watch the game, he passes the eye test. He played amazing. Christian Cook, 19 points. I mean, what can he not do, right? Peter Filipovich, I think he had 15 or 16 as well. The whole team just played well. We had 4 guys scored double figures. Even some of the guys that didn't score as much still did great things overall. Like I said, I've been saying a lot, but the whole team did great defensively and offensively. Couldn't be more prouder of them. In this post-game conference after this game, Coach Hooten was saying how the team was just ready to play. I think something that might have, played a negative effect for Louisiana Tech is that they just played against UTEP a couple nights ago, had to travel to us, even though it's only an hour drive. But at the same time, you can't really make excuses for them because, again, they're picked to finish first. They had to play 2 games this week just like we did. Even though we didn't have to travel, we're going to travel later on. And we already have 2 home games in conference done with, which means that we have 9 more away conference games, only 7 more home games. So it's only going to get tougher from here. So just great win overall. I mean, you dominated a team by 30. That's always good. Like we did it against some of the non-Division I teams. But to do it against a team like that is amazing. I remember last year at the end of conference, the last game of conference play regular season, we beat FIU by 7 points, but we were up by 26 at one point. It kind of reminded me of this game a little bit because we got it by 35, but we still won by 30. So we didn't blow the lead. This feels like the first time in a while that we kept the lead the whole time and didn't blow it at all. Because even games that we've won, we've still blown some of those leads, like Southern Utah up by 14. Almost blew it, still won by 3. Texas A&M, of course, Christie at the beginning of the year, up by 21, won by 1. We've had moments where, even against the first game of the season, New Mexico Highlands, even though it was our bench unit at the end, we still won by 36. We're by almost 50 at one point. There's just so many times we've been like that with so many teams, or we just haven't put together 2 great halves. This game, on the most, efficient both halves, probably the best game we've seen in the Hooten era. Best game I've seen since I've been a student at NMSU. Again, couldn't be proud of these guys. Something I do want to point out is that our post play again wasn't the greatest tonight, but it did. They look effective. They might not stuff the stat sheets like that, but they are effective. One thing I want them to improve on, I don't expect any of them to be big time scorers because they've never really been relied on to do that. I know there's one year I believe at San Diego, University of California, San Diego. I think Emmanuel averaged 7 and 6. But none of those guys are really big time scorers, so I don't expect them to do that kind of like what Casey did. But I do expect them to be on the ball a little bit better. I think they combined for only a couple rebounds today, which is not going to get them me a 3 post. So definitely got to improve on that end of the floor. Emmanuel's been getting the most minutes out of all of them and probably will continue to stay that way because in my opinion, he's also the best one too, the most talented. His brother Nate, not bad at all, but I just don't think he's as good as his brother Emmanuel. Edward got in the game tonight. He had a jumper, I believe, or he had 2 points. I think he grabbed an offensive board, so that was great to see from him. I think out of the three, he's honestly, none of them are great shooters, but I think out of the three of them, he has the best, shot, in my opinion. So maybe he has a chance to play more in conference play. But again, in conference play, you're going to see more rotations. Like, you're going to see only strictly 8 to 10 guys. Tonight, we saw 13 guys play, but that's because it was a blowout. Last game against Sam Houston, it was about 10 guys. But only like 8 guys got really true minutes, and only 7 guys played double-digit minutes. So you're going to see that from time to time. I do believe Gabe's going to continue in that rotation. I don't see why not. He's been doing great. It's only going to help him get better if he keeps on playing these games. He's got a lot better without turning over the ball, too. I know at the beginning of the year, and even against UNM, he did a lot of good things, but he was turning over the ball a lot, which, again, makes sense for a freshman, a true freshman, playing behind 2 seniors coming off the bench. You don't expect him to come in and just be perfect right off the bat. But he's been looking a lot more efficient, a lot better lately. He's a passer point guard, but he can score too. Like, he hit a 3 tonight. Or I say tonight, today. It's still daytime. His game's early, so there's still a lot more to do. It's nice to know what the outcome is before you go to bed for a decent amount of time, because a lot of times if we lose, I go straight to bed. I'm pissed off. If we win, I'm happy, and I want to stay up all night. But since we win in the daytime, I can enjoy for the rest of the day, so that's great. Carl Sharonfont saw some minutes as well. He didn't play last game. I just don't think he was in the rotation that game, but he was this game. Probably because we were blowing them out by a little bit more, but hopefully, again, he can, put his name into the rotation a little bit more. He didn't score tonight. I don't believe he took a shot. But, I would like to see that change because he's super skilled, has a super bright future. I really hope we keep him, and I hope we keep Gabe Pickens as well, who we just talked about. I think those guys being young, obviously Carl being a sophomore and Gabe being a freshman, and Jacoby being a freshman as well. Super young guys that I think have a bright future for us and can do a lot of great things. And then you might be like, oh, well, how much are they going to price? How do we know that they're going to price good? Christian Cook, our best player, Division II basketball player for 3 years. Now he's like top 5 player in Kermit USA, if not top 3. If not, some Aggie fans maybe want to argue that he's number 1. We'll have to see how it plays out. If we keep playing the way we are, it's only 2 games, so you can't go based off just 2 games. But they're 2 great wins against very high-level competition. We're playing against UTEP next. I believe they play today against Sam Houston later tonight. So I'll have to keep an eye on that game, see how they do, considering that we just played. UTEP beat Louisiana Tech by 10. We beat them by 30. So that doesn't really mean anything, but it means that we both put together pretty dominant performances. It's a team that was predicted to win the whole conference. So I do think that'll be a good game, a good battle. We seem to split with them the past couple years I've been here, or we seem to sweep them. I would love to sweep them, but I think we'll at least, get a tiebreaker with them. It'd be great if we can beat them this next game and go 3-0 to start conference. That'd be amazing. And if we do beat them right now, I think we'll also beat them at home. We're 7-1 at home now. We had a 5-game homestand, won all of them. That's amazing. I knew we'd win at least 2 of them because against 2 of them were non-D1 teams. Once we beat Southern Utah, I knew we'd have at least a winning record on the 5-game homestand. But then obviously the last 2 games being conference games, wanted to win those. And I even said a couple videos ago, I was like, if we go 1-1, that's cool. It's average. That's what I would expect. If we go 0-2, it'll be a little upsetting, but they're 2 great teams. If we can go 2-0, beat Louisiana Tech, I will have a lot of confidence for this team. It's exactly what we did. 9-6 overall now, 2-0 in conference. And then we're about halfway through the season. Obviously conference just started, but we only have 31 games. Well, I say only, it's still a lot. Have 31 games overall. We just played 15, about 9 wins. So you do 9 times 2 for the second half. It's about 18, which is what I was predicting. But at the same time, let's say we beat UTEP, go 10-6, because the 31 is an odd number, so it's on a split half. This team, they have a chance at winning 20 games. They're on pace to win, 18-19. They have a high chance of winning 20. I even said at the beginning of the year, a couple games that let slip from them, but I think they learned from it. I think they won by 30 tonight when it happened a couple months ago when the season first started. And, whenever they lost those games against, Pepperdine and Bowling Green, they've used those 2 losses to just, play a lot better since then. I know they lost to ACU after that, but ACU is a pretty solid team. Ever since we started off 3-5 in that 5-game losing streak, we're on a 5-game winning streak now. Won 6 out of our last 7, playing our best brand of basketball at the very right time at the start of conference play. Already have 2 wins in conference. We only had 7 last year, so that's great. And these 2 teams that beat Sam Houston State and Louisiana Tech, we got swept to them last year. So even if we lose to them at their place, we're already better, than last year in that aspect, if you look at it. So that's great. And I think we have a chance of beating at least one of them on the road, Louisiana Tech, again, like I said in this video, be said a lot of times before, picked to finish first in conference. 0-2 now. I still think they'll be a good team. But right now we're actually sitting at first. That's because we're the only team that's played 2 games. We won both. So that'll obviously change as time goes on, possibly. Or maybe we'll keep it if other teams lose. It's always hard to say because even if teams are 2-0, it's hard to pick which one's better. I think they go based off the overall record. But right now we're first. So let's try to keep it that way. Yeah, just super happy about making today's video. I was looking so forward to this once I saw. We were up by 20 to 30 at halftime. We're up by 25, 44, 19, and I knew we had a chance, obviously, to win it, but we've seen the Aggies blow leads similar to that before, and not always necessarily lose it, but just like, make it close and get scary, but they did not do that tonight, and this is how I want them to play every night. I mean, I don't expect them to go every night win by 30 conference. That's going to be rare. So, to get beat by 30 in conference, or to win by 30 in conference doesn't happen too often. But I would like for us to like keep leads. If we're having momentum, maintain it. And I'm also really interested to see how we do on the road. I'm glad next game is against UTEP because even though it's a road game, we're going to have a lot of Aggie fans there as well. So it's going to feel like an away game. So I know UTEP's going to bring a lot of their fans too. It's a rival game. Who wouldn't? But we're also going to be there as well, just like could be UNM on the road. If it could be UTEP on the road too, oh my gosh, it'd be amazing. Because our 10th win, cannot go wrong with that at all. I also like that they have a week off between those games because they have the back-to-back games right now. And there's going to be a lot of times during conference they're going to be playing Thursday, Saturday. So they're going to have one day in between. I believe Coach Hooten also said in the post-game conference that they're going to take the next couple days off, which I don't know if Aggie fans would be worried about, why are they taking 2 days off? But I mean, they have a whole week. They're going to practice Tuesday through Friday, probably Tuesday through Thursday. They'll practice pretty hard. I'm sure Friday they're also going to have a walkthrough practice and same on Saturday, probably at UTEP when they travel down there. Not sure what day they'll travel, but I assume they would travel the day before. Even though it's super close and they get it done in a day, I think Coach Hooten would want to get there a day before just to, make sure they're all ready to go. I think that's what they've done last year. I think that's what they did in the past before. Even when they play against UNM, they usually go the day before, which again makes sense. Get it done with, get it practice on, your opponent's court that you're playing on. It's always a good thing to do. Again, I'll watch that UTEP game, or not watch it, but keep up with it. See how they do against Sam Houston State, because they looked really good against Louisiana Tech. And so I was like, dang, that's actually pretty scary if they beat the number 1 team, but then we beat them by 30. So who knows? It's way too early of conference to tell who's who. I don't think you can really tell until the second half of conference. So once 9 games are played or 10 games are played, that's when I think we'll be able to tell who's who and how good someone's going to be. And we can make more prediction of who's going to be in the top. But we've proven to be, so far, and again, only 2 games, but we beat the best team in the conference by 30, or the, quote unquote best team, and beat a really good Sam Houston State team who's supposed to finish in the top 3. I was about to say by double digits. I'm getting confused of everything I'm talking about. They won by that by 4, but honestly, could have won by double digits because I was, looking back and forth. They're up by 12 at one point in that game too. So improvement from that game, which is great. I believe our next opponents are UTEP on the road, and then FIU, Liberty. So we have 3 straight road games, I believe. Then play against Kennesaw State at home. That'll be the game I'm able to go to, and most fans will be able to go to. Speaking of fans, just over 4,000. I think it was 4,004 fans today at the game, which is great. And that number will keep on going up. I believe last year during conference, we averaged about over 5,000 fans a game. I'm sure once the students are back there, that's just going to add more to it. If we continue to win, this is how it works. You win games, you're going to get more people to show up. That's just how it works. And so if we can continue to win games like we did the past couple of days, and, I say the past couple of days, past 5 games, then we're chilling. Needing just one more win to get to 10 wins, double-digit wins, about halfway through the season is great. Like I said, you're at that point, you're about halfway to 20. Well, not about, you're 10. 10's half of 20. But you know what I mean? Because like the 16 games, and then there's only 15 left. So again, it's not a full-on half because it's not on number. But again, I just want to summarize. Couldn't be more proud of this team. Super happy with how they performed tonight. Again, they kept the lead the entire game. That was the most fun I had, enjoying a Aggie game. Because a lot of times when they have those big leads, they seem to blow it and barely win or even lose the game. Or a lot of times they're down by that much. And, they came back against Western Kentucky last year, which was great. But a lot of times that doesn't always happen. So tonight was just an amazing game for them. And I expect performances similar to that in the future. Again, I don't expect them to win by 30 against a lot of our conference opponents because it's conference. That doesn't happen all the time. It's really competitive, especially with Conference USA being a lot better this year. There's going to be a lot of dogfights. But I do expect us to use this experience going forward. Like, hey, if we could beat this team by this much, we can do good against this team. We even had a couple games, close games, that were like really intense that we won. And yes, they've been at home, but we can use that in the future, especially if we're at home against a team that we're like competitive with. We're like, hey, we've done this before, we can do it again. I would love to get a blowout win on the road, a big blowout win on the road. If we could do that, that would give us so much confidence. If we could, be in a really close, tight game and win down the road as well, that would also give us confidence early. Because we're a really good home team, 7-1 at home, won the last 5 at home, 9-6 overall. But again, out of those 9 wins, 7 of them are at home. Already 2 road wins, one of them against our rival UNM. That's what I'm saying. If we get a rival win on the road against UTEP, 3 road wins, 3-3 on the road if we win that game, and 2 of them being against our rivals, you cannot be mad at that at all. I think that's going to close out the video today. Again, not a lot of bad things to say. There was a lot of great things. Yeah, sure, like I said, I thought that the post play, that could have been a little bit better. Free throws were pretty well. We missed a couple. We're not going to be perfect. But a lot of things are going in the right direction. I'm really proud of this team, and I think they'll just continue to get better and finish out conference well. I want them to prove me wrong. I didn't say anything bad about them. I just think, before the season, I predicted them to get 18 wins. They're already at 9, halfway. I was saying at most, I think they'll get 12 or 13 wins, but I was like, it's going to be really hard to do. I don't know if they'll be able to do it. I also, starting off 2-0, I didn't think they could at least get one of these wins, but I know beating Louisiana Tech was going to be tough to do, and they won by 30. So, hey, keep proving me wrong. I've been in the past when I predict for so many things to go good and for them to do amazing, and then they don't. And so when I doubt them, they do better. So I'd rather it be that way. Again, it's not really doubting. It's just, me giving my, Louisiana Tech, #1 team in the conference. I wouldn't expect them to win by 30, but hey, I'll take it. I'm sure anyone will take it, obviously. Really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Please stay tuned for the next video. Won't go off for about another week because obviously the game's not for another week. It's obviously going to be hard for me to get that video. I'll probably try to get it that Sunday. This video is going up on a Sunday, January 5th. Then the game against UTEP's on the 11th. I'll get that video on the 12th, and I'm going back to Las Cruces that day. So I'll probably upload that in the morning, and I'll go back to Las Cruces, and then from there, you'll be back seeing the old background. So you only see this background one more time, and then who knows, maybe from here for the summer, you'll see it more. And then the summer uploads will obviously be different because we're not going to be talking about each game. But if you guys saw the summer uploads, you guys know how those are. But it's still a long ways away. We still have a lot of conference left, a lot of season left. So can't wait to finish out the season with you guys, and I'm out.